Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. Treasury Consulting is a cash rich company, which is a problem for many people, and especially those who are associated with private equity and venture capitalist firms. Every passing day, I am getting a WhatsApp message from the people who are associated with private equity and venture capitalist firm, and they want to invest in our company. But my standard answer, which I have saved as a draft, is not interested. I only write two words, not interested. Do you know why these firms wanted to invest in my company? Have you ever seen the YouTube channel of Byju's, Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, Lenskart, Paytm, Delivery, Policy Bazaar, Barbecue Nation, Devnani International, Zomato, Swiggy, and many such unicorns? Have you seen the YouTube channel of these companies? In majority cases, YouTube do not exist. And if in few cases YouTube do exist, they never speak about the system. And now venture capitalist and private equity firm are scared that we are talking about the system. Now they are thinking how to stop. So what is happening is that every passing day I am getting a WhatsApp message that I am this person from this private equity firm, and I wanted to invest in your company. Means my firm wanted to invest in your company so that we become the board member of Treasury Consulting and get the controlling right. And then the first thing we do is ask Rahul Magan not to speak. Whether it is a short video app, whether this is Twitter, whether this is LinkedIn, whether this is WhatsApp, whether this is the YouTube channels, and many more. They did the same politics in TikTok last year, but now we are on 15 platforms of the globe, and more are coming. So where you stop us? This is the basic problem. Treasury Consulting is a cash rich company, and we would continue to be a cash rich company without a single dollar backing from private equity and venture capitalist firm. We are a company, and we are proud to say that we challenged regulators globally, whether this is Federal Reserve, whether this is state, Reserve Bank of India, whether this is the Bank of England, whether this is any other regulator of the globe. We are proud that we challenged Big Fours, EY, KPMG, PwC, and many more. We are proud that we challenged almost all banks of the globe, whether this is Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and almost everybody. Because there is no venture capitalist on our board. And since there is no venture capitalist on our board, we are completely free. And what we speak is a fact, evidence. And this scares few people. And today video is one more. In the last several years, thousands of scandals erupted in India. Thousands of scandals erupted in India, which includes Diwan housing, infrastructure leasing and financial services, Satyam, Yes Bank, PMC Bank, Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund, and many. The end result is the non performing assets of Indian Bank grew way beyond the estimation. I have 0% trust on RBI and RBI figures. I repeat, 0% trust on RBI and RBI figures. I challenged Raghuram Rajan way before 2014 in New Delhi live when he was sitting next to me. He not accepted my challenge. And by the way, in 2014 he was RBI governor. I challenged the current governor. Previous to that, Urjit Patel. No one accepted the challenge. Because one thing I am always clear, RBI always lacks talent. I read many articles of RBI, many circulars of RBI when I was a corporate treasurer and even today, especially the risk management and interbank circular, especially the non-deliverable forward circular, the capital account convertibility circular, and many such circulars. It's out of knowledge. Out of knowledge. I have seen that in 2015 how RBI failed to hedge POS, which is created by Raghuram Rajan. I have seen how RBI failed to control INR, which by the way at a point of time near about 80. I have seen how the repo transactions happening in the Indian banks. I have seen the people who don't deserve the loans getting the loans. I have seen the circulars of Reserve Bank of India makes no sense. Not sense. Guys, let's take only 4 cases. Only 4 cases. I can take as many as cases. Diwan housing, infrastructure leasing and financial services, Yes Bank, PMC Bank. Only 4 cases. You know that I'm not short of cases. Diwan housing, infrastructure leasing and financial services, Yes Bank and PMC Bank. Did the investors who invested in these banks were compensated? Did Diwan housing investors compensated? Did infrastructure leasing and financial services investors compensated? Did 81 bond holders of Yes Bank compensated? Did Lakshmi Vilas Bank investors compensated? Did PMC Bank compensated? They get 5 lakhs in 10 years. 10 years. And now the same RBI granted the scheduled bank license to Paytm. I need not to speak about the Paytm. It's 100% loss-making company, having retained earning negative 12,400 crores. 12,400 crores. PwC is the auditor of Paytm, and just check on the Google about these big fours, whether this is EY, KPMG, PwC, or Deloitte. RBI granted, prior to that, RBI granted small finance bank license to BharatPay, who is a loss-making company, and Centrum Capital together, which is called Unity Bank. And now RBI granted scheduled bank license to Paytm. So you mean to say now loss-making companies will be a bank in India? Loss-making companies will be bank in India. So the banks like HDFC, SBI, ICICI, and other banks, those who are profitable, they are illogical people. Because now India have loss-making banks, loss-making companies as banks. Because all the investors of Diwan Housing, Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, Yes Bank, PMC Bank, Franklin Templeton, they all paid. The people who did the fraud executed. So if tomorrow Paytm collapse, then RBI will refund the amount. This is what RBI wanted to convey. We are setting up a precedent in the system whereby tomorrow venture capitalists will form a company like they do, run a company, then apply for banking license. And the paid, sold, and corrupt media dare to talk about this. But I speak. And this country, central bank, talking about digital currency. You fail to handle the banking. You fail to handle anything in this country. Under RBI, thousands of scandals happen. More than 10 lakh crores, 10 lakh crores worth of money, non-performing asset phased out. 10 lakh crores. This, by the way, is a taxpayer money. 10 lakh crores, near about 146 billion. It's a taxpayer money. And what you did, you asked bank to write it off so that they can clean their balance sheet, because it's a bloody taxpayer money. It's not your money. And now the loss-making companies are banks. Guys, 5 years ago, when the private equity and the venture capitalist firms were investing in loss-making companies like Ola, Paytm, Zomato, Swiggy, Lenskart, Delivery, and many such companies, Flipkart and all, I used to believe that they might be investing assuming one day these companies become profitable. I'm talking about 5 to 6 years ago. Eventually, when we get closer to 2021, I was little afraid that, like in case of Paytm, which got incorporated and it's near about 10 years, in case of Ola, Zomato, Swiggy, and many more such companies, the day Zomato got the approval of IPO, I was clear, and I dare to speak that these venture capitalists, even 10 years before, at the time of investment, were certain they get IPO approval. That's why they consistently put the money. Once IPO listed, they become profitable. Majority of the venture capitalists and the private equity quit in case of Nokia, in case of Paytm, in case of Policy Bazaar, in case of Zomato, and many. An actual trap is the retail investor. And now these loss-making companies who are handsomely backed up by private equity and venture capitalist firms, they are getting banking license. BharatPe. Bhavesh Agarwal is the CEO of Ola. Vijay Shekhar Sharma is the CEO of Paytm. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, do you really think you deserve to be a CEO of Paytm? In your tenure, the company never reported the profit. You are sitting on the accumulated losses of near about 12,400 crores. Similar is the case of Ola. Now, is RBI taking a responsibility that if tomorrow Paytm collapses, then they would compensate the investor? Yes. The way they compensated in case of Diwan Housing, Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, Yes Bank, PMC Bank, the same way they do in case of Paytm. What is the problem? No problem. The way remains the same. By the way, since Paytm got a license to be a scheduled bank by RBI, which credit rating agency is giving rating to Paytm? I have no information as yet. I am collating the information from the Google. You know, we are living in a times, just to conclude, when MBA, PhDs, in some cases engineers, highly qualified, they are filling for sweepers in government services. There are ample of articles we have on the Google. MBAs, PhDs, engineers, highly qualified, are filling the application for sweepers, PN. But in case of loss-making companies, there is no criteria. And now I am confident that 10 years ago, when Paytm was not even founded, the venture capitalists were certain they get IPO approval. So go to hell, the company is in loss making or not. It doesn't make any difference. We get the IPO approval and we become richer. You know what I mean? And this is how India is working. This is how the novice investors are fooled every day. This is how the media is with this private equity and the venture capitalist firm and making sure that they win and investor lose. I'm surprised that a loss-making company got a banking license. First, I was surprised in case of BharatPe. And then I got surprised in case of Paytm. Maybe tomorrow, some other loss-making company will also get a banking license. By the way, Fino Payment Bank is also a loss-making. So that is not a surprise thing for me. A company can be loss-making. Bank cannot be loss-making. Because people are putting their money in the bank. People are doing transactions with the bank. Financial institutions cannot be loss making. Whether this is a hedge fund, whether this is a mutual fund, whether this is a depository institution, whether this is a bank, or whether this is an insurance company. Financial institutions cannot be loss making. Maybe companies can loss making because they are not providing any kind of guarantee. So example, if I'm buying anything from Flipkart and tomorrow if Flipkart collapsed, then what I lose? Only the product which I order. Nothing. But if an insurance company, a hedge fund, a mutual fund, a broking business, or a bank, or any other depository institution collapsed, then the people have trust in the system which is also collapsed. And what the hell we are up to? We are giving a license to loss-making companies. Are we short of banks? Are we short of banks? Don't we have ICICI, Axis, HDFC, Kotak Mahindra Bank, SBI? Don't we have other profitable financial institutions? Then why there is an urgency to give license to a loss-making company? And that too less than 2 months after IPO. And that too once immediately after IPO they reported the losses. Like Zomato. But I know no media channel is dare to cover this. Because if they cover this, the advertisement revenue which they are getting would stop immediately. And their friends would become little anxious. You guys are really, you don't know how to make a circular. You don't know how to run the system. Even today, Indian rupee is a non-deliverable currency. Even today. And you guys are talking about a digital currency, right? Come on. Let me know what criteria makes Paytm a bank. And what precedent are we setting up into a system? Guys, just to conclude, everything comes to an end. Everything comes to an end. There is nothing which not comes to an end. Even today I was watching one of the videos on YouTube. It was said that the 3 top glaciers of Greenland, 3 big glaciers of Greenland, their existence are under huge stress. And by the way, I watch climate news very carefully. But 5-7 years ago, people were hardly bothered about the climate change. Everything comes to an end. Today, you are allowing venture capitalists and private equity firms to control the country. And tomorrow, you will face the consequences of that. Remember in 1600s, when the Britishers came to India under a name called East India Company, many Einstein, Edisons, Newtons used to believe They are only businessmen. They are here for business, not to rule. But eventually, India became enslaved for 200 years. And the freedom fighters like Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi ji, Rajguru, and all others had to give up their lives to make us free. Give up their lives. And we should be thankful to them, at least I am. Similarly, today we have already allowed venture capitalist and private equity firm to do what they want. And soon we become financial enslaved. May not be the way we were like Britishers, but we would be financially enslaved. When these private equity and venture capitalist firm would be managing our system the way they want it. And even today it is happening, by the way. So if tomorrow Paytm collapses, you know whom to contact. The largest real estate player of China, Evergrande, with around 300 billion of asset, collapsed. 300 billion. If Evergrande 300 billion can collapse, you know what I mean. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, if you feel offended, 9899242978. Bro, I am not paid. You don't deserve a banking license. You even do not deserve to be a listed company in India. Technically speaking, you accumulated 12,400 crores of retained earnings, negative. Your cash balance comparing financial year 21 to financial year 20 decreased by 95%. To me, there are many issues on your company. Forget the banking license. And bro, if you missed my number, 9899242978. Have a great time.